Hi, I'm Karie Bible, tour guide at Hollywood Forever Cemetery, and welcome to another installment of Hollywood Forever Tour Talk. Today is July 25th, and it's the birthday of Estelle Getty. She was born on July 25th, 1923 in New York. She was originally born Estelle Scherer, if I'm pronouncing that right, S-C-H-E-R. Her parents were immigrants from Poland. And as a young girl, she saw a vaudeville play and fell in love with acting. And so she went about pursuing her own acting career. She worked in regional theater, local theater, off-Broadway, and all the while maintaining a secretarial job. And she would even have to ask to leave at different times of the day for her lunch break and didn't want to tell her coworkers that she was an actress for fear of losing her job. She married a man named Arthur Gettleman, and she turned that Gettleman last name into Getty for her stage name. And her big break came when she saw actor Harvey Fierstein in a play on Broadway. She made it backstage and told him that if he ever needed someone to play his mother, she would love to do it. And that actually happened. He wrote a play. It was the third installment in his Torch Song trilogy. And Estelle Getty got the role, and she got rave reviews, and it really boosted her career. She also played Cher's mother in the drama Mask, and also Sylvester Stallone's in the comedy Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Of course, her most famous role was as the 80-something-year-old Sophia Petrillo, the Italian-born mom on The Golden Girls, which ran from 1985 until about 1992. In reality, she was actually 1 year younger than Bea Arthur, who played her daughter on the show, but their comedy chemistry was so good, they just put an old age makeup job and a wig on Estelle to make her look a lot older. But when they did flashback episodes and she looks decades younger, that's actually how she looked in real life. She was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in a comedy series for 7 years in a row and took home the Best Supporting Actress Emmy in 1988. She also won a Golden Globe as well. And she was so fast, so funny, and usually had the sauciest one-liners on the whole show. And I am such a fan of the Golden Girls. In fact, this past week, I was lucky enough to get to tour the house used for the exteriors on the Golden Girls show. It is currently for sale in Brentwood, which is a suburb of Los Angeles. It's $3 million, and the house is in pristine condition, built in 1955. And even though they shot the interiors on a soundstage, it was still really cool to see the interiors of the house. The exterior looked almost exactly like it does on the show, and my friends and I actually sat in the driveway and ate cheesecake, so it was a really special, really fun outing for us. In any case, back to Estelle. She was such a great comedy actress and usually typecast as the mother. She once joked that she played the mother to just about everybody in the world except possibly Attila the Hun, and she wrote a book about her life. And she was also very active in taking care of and helping people with AIDS. Her nephew died of the disease, and she took care of him, had him flown out here to Los Angeles, and she was very involved in fundraising and charity work to help support a cure for AIDS. And she was, by all accounts, a wonderful woman. She died in 2008 and is interred in the outdoor section of the Beth Olam part of the cemetery. Estelle was Jewish, and people frequently leave large rocks on her grave as a way to pay their respects. And I love seeing people's reactions on the tour to her. People smile, people laugh, people recall lines from the show, and it really makes people happy. And I noticed that a lot of 80s television does not stand the test of time very well today. The Golden Girls does. It's still funny, it's fresh. A lot of the social issues they tackled are still very relevant today. And also, a lot of times I notice seniors are very badly marginalized in our world. You don't see them much in movies or television. If you do, often it's a bit role as the mean, grumpy old man or the crazy, nutty cat lady. But in the Golden Girls, the seniors took center stage. They had dates, hobbies, jobs. They traveled, they went dancing, they did charity work. They were living life to the fullest, which, based on the seniors I'm lucky enough to know, I think that's a much more accurate portrayal of senior life. And that show really did celebrate women and friendship and just making the most out of every day of your life. And Estelle Getty was one of the big reasons that show was such a hit. She was the first Golden Girl to leave us. She died in July of 2008. The next year, Bea Arthur, who played her daughter Dorothy Zbornak, died in 2009. And in 2010, Rue McClanahan, who played Blanche Devereaux, passed away, which leaves us now only with Betty White, who is 98 years old. She is the last surviving Golden Girl. And the show is still popular today. It's on Hulu and YouTube and the Hallmark Channel. It's all over cable TV. And there are people that weren't even born when the show was on, and they're huge fans. There's Golden Girls t-shirts, face masks, board games, and the show continues to be a popular cult phenomenon. And also, another thing that I want to mention is that it's such a joyful show, you know, and dealing with such a tough time in the world, that watching it makes you smile, it makes you laugh. It's just such a great escape. So if you've never seen it, or even if you have, I highly recommend watching The Golden Girls. Okay, now, so we've talked a little about Estelle Getty. I would also like to talk to you, of course, as you are all doubtless expecting, about Close Up the cat. Well, about less than a week ago, I was feeding Close Up in the cemetery. I gave him a full meal, salmon, his favorite, some treats, a head scratch, I petted him, you know, the works, and a doppelganger showed up. Oh yes, apparently there is a black cat that looks almost exactly like Close Up that showed up right there with us. And I fed the doppelganger some food. Close Up was not happy about that at all. He gave me and the doppelganger a dirty look. He marched over, chased away the doppelganger, and proceeded to eat all of its food. I lectured him. I explained to him that this is a tough time in the world and he needs to learn to share. He has been very, very fortunate with food and love and attention, and it wouldn't hurt him to spread some of that around. He listened to me. He turned around, raised his tail, stuck his butt in my face, and he marched off. So my second big attempt to reason with Close Up was admittedly not successful. But he is who he is. He's an alpha cat. He's the ruler of Hollywood forever. He knows it. And I do still love the little guy, so I will definitely be seeing him tomorrow morning before and during my tour. So that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. And again, watch The Golden Girls. It's so funny. It's so enjoyable. And I think these days we all need some extra friends in our life. Until next week, I'll see you then.